This video is a quick run through of exponential regression in response to a student question. The problem we're looking at is from the homework. It says the monthly costs for a small company to do business has been increasing over time due in part to inflation. The table gives the monthly cost Y in dollars for the month of January for selected years. The variable T represents the number of years since 2016. Now notice we have a graph here, a scatter plot, and we have a table of values. And part A or part 1 of the question says, use a graphing utility to find a model of the form y equals a times b to the t, round a to the nearest whole unit and b to 3 decimal places. Now this is an exponential function, so what I want to do is exponential regression. I'm going to pull up Desmos by going to desmos.com/practice. You hit the plus key in the upper left and select table. For the X's, you're going to enter the years in this example. And for the Y's, I'm going to enter the monthly costs. So 13,000, 13,400, 13,800, and 14,300. Now notice I don't put any commas in there. I just enter the number. And then I'm going to come to the next box down, box 2. I'll type Y1 and then the tilde by doing the shift key and then the key to the left of the number 1. And I will type in A parentheses B and then the exponent by going shift number 6 on the keyboard. Then I'll type in X1 and close those parentheses. Now, when you're doing exponential regression in Desmos, you have to click this log mode box. Otherwise, you'll get the wrong A and B. So I clicked the log mode box, and now I have my A and I have my B, and I'm ready to come down and enter my equation. So A was 12,987. It does say round A to the nearest whole unit, and then round B to 3 decimal places. So B is going to be 1.032. And it will be to the T power. I don't want to use an X because they say to use T. And I've got my equation. Now they're saying the alternate answer could have a comma in there because it's 12,987. So you could put a comma in Alex, but Desmos does not want the commas in there. Part 2 asks us to write the function from part A as an exponential function of the form y equals a e to the bt and round b to 4 decimal places. Now what we'll do is we'll use our equation from part 1, and we know that e to the b has to take the place of the 1.032 because everything else about the equation is staying the same. A will stay the same, t will be the same, and so e to the b will just take the place of the 1.032. Now, I know that e and natural log are inverses, and so what I would have to do in order to figure out what the new b is down here is I would have to do e to the natural log of 1.032, whatever your base is here. So over in my Desmos calculator, in a new box, I'm going to go ahead and select the keyboard, functions, go to natural log, ln, and put in my 1.032 or whatever your original b was. And now this will be your new b. 0, in my case, it's 0.0315 if I'm rounding to 4 decimal places. 0.0315. So now I would enter the same A value of 12,987, but I'll type in an E, and then I'm going to put my new B, which was 0.0315 for me, and T. So to get the new B up here, you do natural log of whatever your original base was. Part 3 of the question says use either model to predict the monthly cost for January in the year 2025 if this trend continues. Round your answer to the nearest $100. So originally up here, it said that T is the number of years since 2016. So 2025 is going to be 9 years since 2016. So I'm going to take my model, and over here in the calculator, I'll put in my 12,987 times my base was 1.032, and I will raise that to the 9 because T is 9 in 2025. And my outcome, I need to round to the nearest 100. So I have 17,243, and that's going to round, if I do the nearest 100, it will round to 17,200.